Hey everybody out there in the YouTube world, it's your boy Dutch the Diesel Technician, man, back with another fun-filled and informative video. Today we're going to be discussing battery power tools and air tools in the automotive world, right? And I'm going to give y'all some tips on what to look for when you purchasing these. Okay, now I'm basically going to be focusing on impact wrenches and air ratchets and battery power ratchets and battery powered impact wrenches, right? That's what I use on a daily basis. Okay. Now I start off with an air impact wrench. All right. The first thing when you buy the tool, the first thing you want to pay attention to is I gotta say this. Don't pay attention to the make believe talks that all that 1,500 foot-pounds of torque and nut busting torque and all that, man. It's not needed in the automotive field. What you need to pay attention to, because all it is a gimmick to get you to pay more for the tool. All you need to be paid attention to is, can it do what you do on the basics every day? Can it remove crankshaft bolts? Can it remove lug nuts? Can it remove suspension bolts? Can it remove head bolts? The things that you do on a daily, is it capable of withstanding and holding up to those applications? That's what's important. It don't have to be the strongest gun on the market. A lot of people get caught up in that, man, and all that is to get you to spend that extra dollar, to squeeze the extra dollar out you. But in reality, you need what will work, right? Secondly, Matco, Mac, Snap-on, and I'm gonna say Ingersoll Rand, right? Those tool companies right there, they are the top end high quality tools for the professional automotive mechanic. If you're not automotive mechanic, there's no need for you to even look that way. If you're only going to use the impact wrench 10 times a year, you'll never get your money out of it. But if you do this every day, then you want to pay for the professional tool, because if not, you go to Harbor Freight, you go over Home Depot and get the Husky or whatever one, the low end ones, you'll be replacing them every 2 years. I'm telling you. Because what will happen is they'll giving, they'll start losing power, and eventually they'll become inefficient. They hit hard. It's not about how hard it hits, it's about how long it lasts. It's about the quality of material that it's built from. You see what I'm saying? Okay. Now, you could take a Harbor Freight gun, and you could take an Ingersoll Rand, or you could take a Mac, a Matco, or whatever, Snap-on or whatever, and it might hit just as hard as any one of those. But will it last longer? You gotta ask yourself. I'd rather have a gun that I would have 10 years from now, and it's still hitting this way, it's still doing everything I need to do, rather than have something for 18 months to a year, using it every single day, dropping it in the shop, and start losing power and brakes on me. So, cheap is not the way for the professional. Okay. Now, so that's a tip for you, man. Don't go for the gimmicks, okay? Now, when you buy air tools, you have to make sure you keeping up with the maintenance on these things. You have to oil them, and not just do the air inlet port. You got to take them out, take the head off, get into the reduction gears, get it into wherever you can get that in so it doesn't seize up. Because if you let tools sit for a while, what it does is it'll get the seize and it don't want to move. I done been through it. Keep your stuff well oiled, and it'll last you a long time. Trust me. Air motors that are used in air tools, air motors have veins on them. And what those veins do is they fly out when the compressor air is let in, they fly out and spin the motor. Okay? Now, those veins, they ride on the cylinder walls. And after a while, a groove will be created somewhere along that cylinder wall, and that air will bypass and cause it not to hit as hard, not to spin as fast, not to spin as efficiently. Burns get worn out on them. So if it start going bad, before you buy a repair kit, before you buy a rebuild kit to rebuild it and put new parts in it, just make sure it wouldn't be more of an asset to you to just buy a new one. Okay? Now, let's talk about air ratchets. Air ratchets. First of all, if you're a mechanic, You need an air ratchet unless you want to keep doing this and wear out the joints in your arm with that ratchet. You need an air ratchet. Just pull the trigger, you know. But when you get an air ratchet, you want it to be based upon speed, not so much torque. But you want it to be based upon speed so that you can remove that fastener quick. A lot of automotive work is based on how fast you can get the job done. So, you know, you definitely have to have an air ratchet. But when choosing the air ratchets, you want to go with the better brands because that is a tool that won't last long if you don't get the right. If it's not built well, it won't last long in a shop environment. We have a tendency to just drop things. They stay covered, and our hands stay covered in oil and different chemicals and stuff like that. So you want it to be built of a strong, lasting material. And dealing with air tools, if you go with the Chinese brand, 9 times out of 10 it'll have a really baby, small air motor in it. The tool will look pretty, but inside of it, it'll have a small baby air motor that don't put out nothing. They don't hardly put out nothing. You open up the USA made ones that got them big, beefy air motors in them, man. That's what you want. Bigger motor, more power. So that's my take on the air ratchets and the air impact wrenches. Okay. Now, as far as battery power, when I first started doing this, I thought battery power was everything. But in all actuality, in the shop environment, batteries are like, it can be useful, but it's more for when you need to do something outside the shop. More convenient because I'm going to tell you, I learned my lesson. The battery power impact wrenches, they held on the joints and the tissue in your arm. I had a lot of pain in my arm just from the vibration, and I got a torn muscle in my arm and everything from using them, man. They real heavy. Battery powered impact wrenches are heavy. I got that heavy 20-volt battery and that real big heavy motor in it on the top of the tool. It's just ridiculously heavy, man. And if you're using it all day long, from the time you get in there to the time you leave, trust me, every day, comfortability is key. You want something small. A lot of the times, the air ratchets are way lighter than the battery powered ones, simply because they don't have to have that big battery on them. You know what I'm saying? So, you definitely want to have a battery powered impact wrench just for situations when you're not in the shop, but when you're in the shop, you won't ever really need it. You can use it, you just don't want it to line up, but you won't really need it. And it won't be able to fit down in a lot of tight spots because you got that big beefy battery on it, and it just won't fit a lot of spaces, you know. And for and it's like I said, it's convenient, but outside of the shop. As far as the battery powered ratchets too, in my opinion, the battery powered ratchets too, they don't put out enough power in my opinion. And because they have the big battery on the bottom of them, they don't fit in a lot of tight spots. So, you know, the battery powered ones aren't as strong as the ones that's ran off compressed air, the air motors. So, you know, it's preference. You can use whatever you want. This is just my opinion. But yeah, man, that's my take on air ratchets, battery powered ratchets, and impact wrenches and stuff like that, man. You know, I'm Dusty Diesel Technician. I hope this helps somebody understand the difference and, you know, what to look for. Thanks for watching. Keep it mechanic.